got rid of the plaque. That was about 20% to 25% plaque in both my carotids. It was gone in 3 months. Today, I'm going to talk about which reduces plaque better and faster. Drugs like statins, PCSK9s, very powerful drugs, or 2 types of foods that have been studied extensively. In the drug study, high-dose statins have reduced the LDL cholesterol by up to 60%. It takes weeks, sometimes months. And what they saw in the carotids, at least, and in the coronary arteries, it only reduced the plaque by 0.015 millimeters. In some studies, the best results were a reduction of 0.04 millimeters. This is just a fraction of a millimeter. This is very, very little. In essence, it didn't reverse. It just stopped the progress. It was basically the cars in neutral, the plaques in neutral, not growing and not really reversing. In the food studies, there are 2 types of foods that have shown some evidence, and I'll talk about these now. Pomegranate, not pomegranate, the fruit, eating the fruit, but drinking the juice. And this was just 50 mils of pomegranate juice. 50 mils is not very much. If you put it in a cup, it's barely noticeable. I drank it every day for a year. And what it found was it reduced the thickness of the walls in the carotid arteries, which are indicative of plaque in the arterial walls. And it reduced it from 17% to as high as 30%. It's been reproduced in some studies, and other studies have not been able to replicate that, which I will explain later. So significant, just a small amount of juice. And how did this do it? How does pomegranate reduce plaque? Well, with the right setting, what it does is it reduces LDL oxidation by 90%. Oxidized LDL cholesterol, which is one of the inciting factors of plaque development, is basically eliminated. So by drinking it, reduce all the inflammation and oxidation of the LDL cholesterol, which is one of the plaque formation criteria. The other thing it does is it doesn't reduce the LDL number or increase the HDL cholesterol number, but it supercharges the HDL to remove cholesterol from the plaque. So not only does it prevent the formation of new plaque, it helps reverse transport of cholesterol away from the blood vessels by making the HDL cholesterol more powerful in its ability to do that. So pomegranate juice trumps the statins, doesn't lower the LDL cholesterol number or increase the HDL number. There's another food, and actually it's a supplement because you have to eat a lot of this food to get the high dose concentration. So the supplement is called nattokinase. And nattokinase is from beans that get fermented. This is a popular Japanese product. You could do it ferment soybeans, you could do black beans, you could do chickpeas, and produce nattokinase. This nattokinase, it reduced the plaque size and the wall thickness by up to 36%. This was a large retrospective study in China over about 1,062 people over a year. And so quite a big sample size. They took about 10,800 fibrinogen units of the supplement. So it's a high dose. If you just ate natto, you might get 2,000 of this nattokinase. They didn't find that at the lower doses, the edible doses, that there was reversal, but at these high doses, starting from 6,000 and up, you started to get reversal of plaque. And at 10,800, didn't seem to present any side effects or problems. And how nattokinase works is it breaks down fibrin. And fibrin is, think of it as the network in which plaque builds itself upon. And so by breaking it down, it makes it easier to collapse and remove the cholesterol. This is how nattokinase works. What I did was I added nattokinase, natto, which has vitamin K2, and also the pomegranate juice, knowing these studies, reduced the plaque. Actually, not just reduced, got rid of the plaque. That was about 20% to 25% plaque in both my carotids. It was gone in 3 months. but I set all necessary 3 conditions, which I'll talk about in another video in the future. So it's not really about lowering the LDL. Lowering the LDL will help, but that's only one step. With Pomegranate and Nattokinase, they worked on other steps, which is lowering the oxidation, helping the HDL transport the cholesterol out of there, and Nattokinase breaking down the fibrin network that holds the plaque and the cholesterol. Seems complicated, but when you figure out the essential steps, it's actually quite simple. And this is called lifestyle modifications. So drugs can help, but if you also pair it with these dietary and remove the conditions that cause plaque, you can actually reverse plaque, which is astounding. If you do this for a year, 5 years, you'll be in better shape than you are now. Or you'll be able to prevent future heart attacks, which is #1 killer worldwide.